Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity.
And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise. Good morning, friends, and welcome to Monday. Today we are kicking off the week with a reminder that momentum doesn't just show up all at once. It starts with a tiny step, that first try, the first okay, and let's go. We're going to honor that today here on Kindness Rising.
Every morning, the world starts quietly. One soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing. A spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Absolutely. You know, when I think about small steps that turned into big momentum, I think about how Kindness Rising even got started. It wasn't a grand strategy or a polished idea. It was just tiny little actions. Showing up every day, taking those tiny little actions. And before I knew it, I was hitting go live, even before I felt I was entirely ready, tweaking the light every day, changing the angle, writing a sentence here, rewriting there, whatever it was, I was figuring out how to bring my world to life here at Kindness Rising. And I am so glad that you have chosen to bring yourself to the show this morning. Kindness Rising. Good morning. Another week closer to home, Roseanne Roof. Absolutely. Mom, I am looking forward to having you back at home. Absolutely. Even though I get to spend time with you every morning right here in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's what I'm talking about. Those small little steps, small steps closer. We miss you, Mom, but I know you're having a great time where you are. Anyway, that's what I did when I started Kindness Rising. I took those tiny little steps. It's all experimentation. I'm figuring it out as I go. Iterations, small moves that will stack on top of other small moves and bring even more value, more power, and more impact from Kindness Rising to you and to the world, because I am here for you. Yay, we're on the horizontal. Okay, cool. I am glad things are working out technology-wise for everybody today. Just remember this show, our community, it wasn't built on big leaps. It's built tiny, consistent steps every day, just like your momentum will be. Thank you for joining me here on Kindness Rising. Get involved in the chat. Show up every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And I will be here with you to lead this community in positivity and rising above the noise that exists out there. Let's do it together. Absolutely.
This button is bigger than my couch. How am I even supposed to press it? Just press it. Don't think. Just step.
All right.
There goes nothing.
This is wild.
The Mornings in the Lab Network. Start your show.
Okay, and sometimes we don't play the right video at the right time, and that's okay too. Welcome in, Hayden Brillante. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I appreciate it. Come on out, join the network, find out what's going on at Kindness Rising, because we here always spend a little time being curious before we jump to judgment. Absolutely. Hello, Aman Gupta. I am glad you are here. Absolutely. Thank you for making a choice to be here. And I hope that you enjoy your time with us. If not, I know there are lots of other places too out there in the world, and we are helping the world to go live every day here in the mornings in the Lab Network. That was why we exist, to help people get up and get after it first thing in the morning. I am coming to you from upstate New York in the United States. Tinu 462. I appreciate you joining us here. Get up and get after it. Do I speak Vietnamese, please? I don't. I don't speak any other language than English. It is probably something that I should work on, perhaps. But I welcome all here. Am I 90? No, I am not 90. I am not 90. I am proudly what I am, which is a Gen X man who gets up and gets after it every day to have a good time, to wake up with positivity, to rise above noise, to make us all a little bit more kind. That's all that matters. Absolutely. And we talk about organizations here on Kindness Rising that are doing good work, that are multiplying kindness, and that are unlocking growth for people. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Today's Kindness Spotlight goes to an organization that's been talking about this kind of stuff long before, talking about stuff before it hits the headlines. Excuse me. They are talking about it's a community-powered nonprofit focused on one big idea. Our small choices with plastics and packaging add up to massive momentum. Aha, I see what happened. We are a little out of order. That is okay. Spotlight wasn't supposed to come just yet, but here we are with it. Absolutely. Hayden Brillante. I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I just want to be able to be able. Yes. 6'7". All right. That's my first 6'7". Congratulations, Spider Sammy. We just were talking about this here at our dinner table last night. My wife and my 20-year-old child and I were talking about 6'7" and the randomness that happens. Hello, bro. Yes, Rafa Borger, welcome in. I appreciate it. Spider Sammy, you should be called Spider Spammy with your 6'7" spamming the chat. All right. Absolutely. Rafa Borger, what's up? What's up? All right. So we got a little bit off track there with the spotlight. That's okay. It's supposed to come after another segment, but that's all right. We'll still talk about it because we're talking about the reduction of plastics, which while we're talking about it, why don't we just roll with it and we'll get into the Coca-Cola question. Has anybody seen Coca-Cola in the news as of late? Perhaps you have, perhaps you have not, but Coca-Cola has had a couple of things going on, a serious lawsuit, absolutely, for contributing to the public health crisis with ultra-processed products, and saying their marketing tactics were just like that old tobacco playbook, not a headline that any brand wants of floating around. But at the exact same time, Coca-Cola is also trending. They're in the news out there because of their sustainability moves. Worldwide, it hasn't come to the United States yet, but worldwide, Coca-Cola is changing some of their packaging. You know, the little the things that people say the dolphins eat, right? We know that, or whatever, those plastic things that hold the six-pack and the liter bottles together. I forget what the hell they're called, honestly, but they're changing them to a paper product. It's huge. Coca-Cola's obviously their carbon footprint is huge. And so a little change like that, changing from a plastic to a paper, just for the top of the container, is a huge move that they are making. So the question is, what's up with Coke? Coke is a huge company. What it shows us is that the world is busy, and yeah, and it's complex too. So here's the kindness angle, though. Massive companies under attack. Coca-Cola under attack for their use of marketing tactics that might not necessarily be that ethical. They're also course correcting and focusing on those other things. So here's the thing. Pressure isn't always a sign that you're failing. Sometimes it's a sign that it's time to evolve. And maybe that's where Coca-Cola is at right now in terms of having pressure for their impact on the environment, pressure for their impact on health, and it's time for them to evolve. No global, there is no super on this chat. I wish there was. The way we get there, YouTube does have what do you call it? Criteria. That's the word I'm looking for. Criteria for being able to monetize and be appreciated monetarily from folks. I appreciate that. I am working towards those goals so that you can help support the show, not so that I can become rich. But I appreciate that you're willing to support the show. As a matter of fact, I am headed on right over here for just a second for a way that you can support the show, you and everybody else out there. I should have brought this with me. Dropped it in the chat. There's my fourth wall. I do have a merch store out there where you can get Kindness Rising merchandise. I don't have any that say what Spider Sammy's asking me to say. Maybe I should get a shirt that says that. I don't even know what it means, but you want to play along? Sure. That's fine. Spam away. I appreciate that you spend your time here doing that, Spider Sammy. All right. So we got out of order. We talked about that. That's all right. We're going with a little bit of flow today. So that's why I was talking about the Story of Stuff project, because their small choices with plastics and packagings add up to massive momentum. They create films, lead campaigns, and organize everyday people to make simple steps, choosing reusables, pushing for better packaging, and supporting local zero waste initiatives, because they are showing that small steps matter, just like we do here on Kindness Rising. So I hope that all of our friends that are out there that want to do something to actually contribute to the show, as opposed to just spamming the chat. Yeah. All right. Let's get up and get after it here.
If you like honesty with a side of chaos, hit subscribe! It's the closest thing we've got to career stability.
All right. All my media is out of whack. I'm selecting every wrong bit for every an interlude here. Interlude. Absolutely. All right. So here we go. We're here with our Be Kind Rewind. Absolutely. We will do that. Okay. Here's our Be Kind Rewind. Let's get back on track. Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Pac-Man. Think about it for just a second. Not the high score, not the frantic maze running, just the beginning. When the level starts, nothing huge happens. boom. There's no fanfare, no power up, and no fireworks. It's quiet and simple, one dot at a time. You just start eating those dots in a big blue maze, and you start with one dot. The first dot is easy to miss. It's not exciting. It's not impressive. You're just getting started. It doesn't feel like it changes much, but without that first dot, nothing else in the game is even possible. No momentum, no movement, and no strategy. No power pellets, no clearing the level, nothing. The entire journey starts when you eat one dot. Every choice, every success, every escape from the ghosts begins with one tiny, almost invisible action. Pac-Man doesn't wait for the perfect moment. He doesn't wait for confidence. He doesn't sit in the corner overthinking the maze. And he doesn't run from the ghost until he's already in motion. He just eats that first dot. How many times am I going to say dot? And once you take that first dot, suddenly the second dot becomes easier, and the dot after that, and the dot after that, and you get into a rhythm, and that rhythm creates momentum, which gives you courage, and courage leads you to make those power moves like eating the ghosts. So here's the thing. Enough about Pac-Man. Don't chase the power pellets. Don't map out the whole maze. Don't try to predict where the ghosts are going. Just take the first dot. That one tiny move is where all your momentum begins. Sully, thanks for checking out the Kindness Rising Fourth Wall merch store. I appreciate it. I'll be adding more stuff up there, more designs. I just didn't throw the logo on. I chose what I wanted to do and what styles, and I hope that it fits for you. I actually, I'll start wearing some of the stuff too, so you can see what it is. The corduroy hats are really cool. They're really nice. The embroidery on them is nice. The embroidery is actually top notch, and it's really nice contrast. All right, I'm not here to sell merch though. I am here to help you go live and think about the way perhaps that Pac-Man. You remember playing Pac-Man? I played a lot of Pac-Man. I spent too much time mesmerized by the ghost, by the Pac-Man. Absolutely, especially when on the Atari. I blew Miss Pac-Man Atari cartridge. I think I burned it. I melted it. I played it so much. Anyway, let's see what Sensei Whiskers has to say.
Momentum starts with one small move.
Yes, one small move away from the ghosts. Momentum begins with survival. Wow.
I think Roseanne Roof can attest to that. That was my face. Down in the basement, that carpeted basement that I spent so much time in as a kid with that Atari 2600, and certainly Miss Pac-Man was just one of my all-time favorite games. You guys have favorite games from back in the Atari world? Remember it? If you do, get talking about your Atari, your Pac-Man times. Man, Pac-Man was such a huge fad, trend, craze, brand. Space Invaders. There's Sammy Hyde. Sam, Space Invaders, another huge game. Asteroids, of course, well, was right there with it, and all Pitfall. We could go on and on about our Atari 2600 games. Here's my funny Atari 2600 story. Not that funny, but I think times were a little bit different back in the early 90s when I attended college, a small private college up here in upstate New York. And I found my Atari 2600 in my parents' basement my sophomore year in college. It had been down there in a box or whatever, and I brought it back, and we had this little 13-inch color TV, the old box or whatever, and we hooked up the Atari 2600 to it, and everybody it was like a magnet. Everybody came in. We had Atari 2600 battles, games, matches, whatever. But it got to the point where it got so freaking annoying because just everybody was in there, whatever. So, of course, in my entrepreneurial way, I said, all right, well, the arcade charges a quarter. If you want to play a game of Atari 2600, you can come in and play a game and leave a quarter. And of course, everybody kind of died down after the interest was there. But every once in a while, I'd come back to my dorm room and we left our dorms open. Everybody knew each other. It was chaos. I mean, there was just no locking things. Rarely would you lock your door unless you had something going on. You'd probably only lock it if you were in there doing something, but that's beside the point. Yeah, we'd come back from class, and there'd be a stack of quarters. The guy next door, one of the guys next door, had so much integrity. He'd come over and play the arcade games and leave us stacks of quarters for playing arcade. Of course, he never did his laundry because he spent all his quarters on Pac-Man in Eastman Hall dorm room. But that's my ridiculous Pac-Man Atari 2600. God only knows what those quarters funded for me in 1991. Back then, probably just pizza and beer mostly. But that's my ridiculous story that I did not plan to talk about today, but it's what happens when you go live. I do appreciate that everybody has come here and come out to spend some time with us on Kindness Rising, getting the week started on our small steps week. And remember, you don't have to take a big leap either to go live if you want to do it. I've been here coming live here for about 5 months, 6 months, and every moment is a new moment. Every moment, absolutely. There are surprises that happen, things that happen along the way where you just have to figure it out and react as you do. And sometimes it sends you a little sideways, and sometimes it keeps you grounded. It actually keeps you grounded showing up here every day. Everything at Jesus 92. Good morning. Good morning. God bless, and God bless you too. I hope you're waking up with hope and humanity and heart and positivity and everything that will make your life better for you. Absolutely. And of course, one way to make your life better is by going live. And it just takes one small step. That small step is reach out to me, Matthew Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I am here. I am on LinkedIn. I am on Facebook and Instagram and all the channels where you can find me. If you're interested in going live, we have a way to help you to join the Mornings in the Lab network, even with our collars flaring all over the place and not quite sure what it wants to do. Absolutely. Everything. I have been here since July. I went live for the first time in July of this year, and I show up every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You get the idea. 7:30 a.m. Eastern on Kindness Rising. Subscribe to the channel. Join us to get up and rise above the noise that's out there, talking about personal self-awareness and personal development and kindness and growth and positivity and cool stuff that's happening out there in the world as part of the Mornings in the Lab network, the place to come for a little bit of morning fun here on Kindness Rising, and then morning chaos and good times, talking about all the things that are happening in our world and giving their personal spin are Keith Billis and John Anderson on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. So get over there and check them out too. All right. So here's your challenge for today. Here's our challenge. We talk about a challenge every day. Name one small step that you can take today that brings you closer to the person you want to be. Maybe put it right here in the chat. Absolutely, Global. Yes, they are learning English language while watching, and we are global. Absolutely global. And I appreciate everyone who comes here from anywhere around the world and wants to get involved and talk about what brings them closer to the person they want to be. Everything Jesus says, prayer. Beholder says, GM 1972. I know that number. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Put that in the chat. Say it out loud. Take a moment when the show ends to find a little bit of clarity, a little bit of the next step, that next small step. You just need to eat the first dot like Pac-Man, right? Just eat that first dot and move on. So find your one thing today to focus on that will bring you closer to the person you are meant to be. Beholder 1972, I am fantastic. I am waking up with hope, humanity, and heart, and just really glad that people are joining. Really just gratitude, full gratitude for the people who join us every day. I was just talking to Keith Billis about this yesterday as we were planning some things for the Mornings in the Lab network, and we we're just talking about how much it means to us that people come and spend the time here. That's been a big surprise for me along the way. We're talking about the things that like you just do it, and what comes along you just welcome, and you're surprised. And the people who come back every day, like Global Solidarity Now and Mike Sullivan and Roseanne Roof and other people who come back every day and subscribe to the channel. I don't even know most of the people personally, except through this channel. So this is the way we're connecting and the way we're building community across the world. Absolutely. And we welcome all who want to be kind, who want to participate, who want to get up and get after it with us every morning. Absolutely. Beholder 72, by the way. Oh, you got a new handle, Spartacus. Cool. Well, I know you from over at the getting a little focused. I know you from over at the Mornings in the Lab network. I don't know why. I think it's the lighting. Just messes with it. I've been trying different things with the lighting. Sorry that I'm a little out of focus, folks, but I am focused on coming here every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and then getting on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, where today they are going to be talking about something that I never heard of before until yesterday when Keith was telling me what his story was going to be. It's the Winter Arc Protocol, this idea that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is take a step back and be quiet, be intentional, and rebuild your habits. And that's happening in, I guess, the part of the Winter Arc. We're going to learn more about it over on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. But I think it might make sense in terms of what it's connected to today, that small steps can lead to big transformation. But sometimes that first step is adding something new. And sometimes that first step is taking something away. But I think the key is to be doing it with intention, with positivity, with trying to help the world, to make the world a little bit better place for yourself, but more importantly for the other human beings, animals, world that we live in. Absolutely. So here's what I hope you take with you today. Small beginnings create big trajectories. Kindness Rising didn't start as a big idea. It started with tiny experiments, little morning lives, and small steps that slowly built momentum. That's how change works. You don't need to see the whole path. You don't need to have all the confidence in it yet. You just have to make that one small move, and those small moves stack. They shape who you're becoming. So whatever your first dot is today, take it. Momentum begins with small courage and small change. So until then, see you tomorrow. Stay uncommon. Stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun.
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.